So let's talk squats. If you can't barbell back squat, if you can't front squat, either because you don't know how or you don't have the resources, this video is for you. What are your options? We're gonna cover 3 different single leg squat options today. My personal 3 favorite, they're the meat and potatoes of everything that I do. They are not the only squats, okay? So I'm not one of those guys, I'm not one of those fitness channels that's gonna be like, this is the one, you can't do anything else. Dude, it all works. All of it works, okay? When you see videos like that, you gotta start asking yourself, like, is this guy selling something? I'm just selling ideas, okay? I'm just trying to get you to get your wheels spinning and see what you have available to you, even in imperfect scenarios. So exercise 1. All right, so well, let's talk about this. Before I get into that, barbell back squat, okay? Bilateral squat. If you can't do that, or you're already doing air squats and you've loaded these up, but you've run out of loading to really get a training effect, you've plateaued. The first logical transition for me I would tell you to go to a rear foot elevated split squat. You've seen these all over YouTube. This is nothing new, okay? I'm just reminding you. So light pressure with the foot that's in contact with the bench, chair, or coffee table. Back knee is down. My femur here, I mean, it's almost 90 with relationship to the floor. There's a lot of different positions you can be in. So when you see someone saying, you need to do it this way and you need to do it that way, careful, okay? Get in a good, comfortable position. Obviously, you don't want this foot jammed in, that's bad. You don't want this foot way out here, that's bad. You're gonna be somewhere in between, all right? So for me, I do this a lot. This feels comfortable. Stand up, okay? Kiss the kneecap down, push through the floor, stand up. I want this knee extended. I want this hip extended. Just as you're doing a rear foot elevated split squat, that front leg, you want like as much weight consciously on that front leg as possible. This back leg is just a stability piece. I think of it like a rudder. So there's a lot of times, even when I'm really loaded up in a rear foot elevated split squat, I'm in this grind, I'm like grinding through these reps. I'm still thinking about the lightest touch of this back foot. I don't want to be using that back foot to really get up, even though I saw a good video the other day. And even though what I will say to kind of go against that is when you get in like really, really heavy rear foot elevated split squats, I don't mind using that back leg a little bit. I think we're kind of splitting hairs on the pressure with that back leg when you get heavy, okay? Second exercise, so rear foot elevated split squats. That's the perfect transition from a bilateral squat into single leg squatting. Unilateral single leg squatting, one leg. Second option. This is assuming you have something to stand on, so I might have already lost you already, but assuming you do, you can use a chair for this, skater squats. Again, you can see I'm kind of limited by the depth before my foot hits the floor, but if I were to get down here, this looks a lot like a bilateral squat, okay? I love the balance component of this. Arms are coming up. I like to go thumbs up, eyes forward. Fix your gaze on a point ahead of you. Skater squats. You can add weight to these. I'll show you in a second how to do that. Last one, single leg balance squats. These are not pistol squats yet because we're only squatting to a target to a depth. So I can't squat below the bench. Just touching my butt to the bench for now. Completely unsupported. Chest stays up. Now the cool part about that squat variation is, let me see here. I'll take this dumbbell, put this behind me. So I'm gonna lower my butt to the dumbbell now. I can just take range of motion and progress those. So I don't need to add weight to those. You can stay with body weight and still challenge that range of motion and make gains. All right, so let's move this dumbbell. Now I'm gonna go butt down to my calf. So this is what you'd probably call a pistol squat, okay? Those 3 exercises you can add small increments of weight to because you're only squatting on one leg. You're asking one leg to do all the work. Small amount of weight added is going to feel like a lot. That's one of the big reasons I love and I fell in love with single leg squats. I'm out of breath. Is because if you lack resources, you don't have a whole wall of weights, you can add 10 pounds in each hand to a rear foot elevated split squat, and that's a lot of weight, okay? And then you can kind of create like an economic plan, is what I did, on how do I save up a little bit of money each month, improve my selection of weights, build out a home gym. Another option that you have if you find yourself with a kettlebell. This is a 44-pound kettlebell. A lot of people have lighter weight than that. But grab what you have, grab the horns of this kettlebell, and now you're goblet style loading. You can do it here on my skater squat, goblet style, adding load. I can do it here on my single leg balance squat. So what did we learn here today? Well, we learned it's been too long since I've done a long form video. We also learned that if you can't do bilateral back squats, front squats, any kind of barbell loaded squat, you've got 3 really good options that you can deploy, starting with body weight and then progressing up with lightweight increments. Okay, we've got to respect progressive resistance and its role in building muscle, improving strength, and performance. You have to respect that. So if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over, you're going to get really good at it and your body's going to adapt and you're not going to see any more changes. You've got to keep tweaking things. But the message is, if you can't bilateral squat, deploy single leg squats, make gains.